This is Sniper signing in to another Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 replay cast on the map Temple Prime. Spawning on the right side, we have our red allied player. This is Pik4a. And spawning on the left side as the blue Empire player, opening up with some dojos, this is NeverLoss. Alright, so now, if I had to guess, these names are more than likely Smurfs for some other, perhaps more well-known players. Could I be totally wrong? Of course. But that's just kind of my guess, my best kind of shot in the dark guess. You know, it's these guys. The names they kind of seem like some second account names for some of the more well-known players. But anyway. That's enough about that one. So let's see what's going on here. We have a dojo core coming down to the southern oil derrick. Looks like NeverLoss is going to try to secure both derricks. They're going to claim the northern oil derrick uncontested. The southern dojo core is going to run into a number of peacekeepers. Forces the allied engineer out onto the water. Ooh, that's actually handy. Forcing the allied engineer out onto the water could become problematic for Pik later. When if he has his eyes set on this derrick. So we have Imperial Warriors moving in from both the low ground and the high ground flank. We have 3 Imperial Warriors moving in. Is the Peacekeeper micro going to be on point? Oh no, I don't think it is. Are they going to stop and attack? No, they're not. They're not stopping to attack. Oh, they're not going to stop to attack. Looks like it's bringing up the health bars outside. That one warrior was forced back by some peacekeepers that went into the building, but they did get totally trashed. Imperial Dojo, very weak. Looks like he will be securing this oil derrick, which means this engineer is, well, he's in the proverbial creek up. He's up the proverbial creek without a paddle. Looks like we have an airfield coming down from Pik. Would not be surprised to see some Vindicators coming out. Vindicators will be very good at shutting. Does he have a seaport? Oh, he does have a seaport. But sells it immediately. Just gets those 2 Riptides for anti-infantry purposes onto the field to start cleaning up some of these Imperial Warriors. And with these only be Imperial Warriors and no tank busters, these Riptides will serve that purpose just fine. Does secure that southern oil derrick. And now running off of 2 derrick, 2 refinery economy, got that mecha bay up, and is starting to produce some Tengus. Looks like the Vindicators and Riptide ACVs are mopping up what's left of the Imperial Warriors here. And Allied MCV is on the move. Would likely be going for this high ground expansion. Gonna get some more of that money up. Apollo Fighter takes the scene and starts flying around, getting some repairs up on those Riptides. Nice wall-offs coming in from over here. NeverLoss does take that garrisonable structure, just giving him a little bit of that extra vision. Looks like Jet Tengus are attempting to combat and try to camp this airfield. However, that Apollo Fighter is going to ruin any hope of camping an airfield, because an Apollo Fighter is ever so much better than Tengus. But here we go. We have a nice engagement coming on here. Nice defense from Pik4a against the infantry charge from NeverLoss. NeverLoss wasn't exactly, looks like Tengu did go down, but does snare that harvester into heavy damage mode, which of course will be useful for NeverLoss the longer it goes unrepaired. Going back in his base, hello. We have an MCV cell. Oh, NeverLoss is going all in. NeverLoss is going to be rolling. Does he still have that engineer? Or did he lose it? I think the engineer went down. Yeah, I think the engineer did go down. May have gotten chased down by a Mecha Tengu, but we are going to have an all-in from NeverLoss. Now, is this going to be the kind of game that ends within the next 5 minutes? Oh, it's very possible. That's very possible. Third refinery is up on the high ground. 3 Apollo Fighters against all these Jet Tengus. All the Apollo Fighters, the Jet Tengus need to transform. They are getting trashed, absolutely trashed. Okay, so that wasn't actually a Tengu. That was a sudden transport. Does force the sell-off of this refinery. That will be hurting the economy. And just gotta remember, NeverLoss has held both the southern and northern oil derricks for this entire game, or that most of it anyway. And the longer he holds those derricks, the more dividends they're gonna pay. But it does look like Pik4a is routing an engineer to the northern oil derrick. Perhaps that's the engineer that was down south, or maybe he just built another one, since There was. Oh, no, he built. Okay, so he built another engineer. Maybe he's got that one routed or rallied. Oh, Pik. There you go. Back it up to that engineer so that he can get a ride in that Riptide. More than likely going to be heading down towards the southern oil derrick, quite possibly. Looks like this collector did go down. However, it is already being rebuilt. Refinery has taken some damage, but that is very repairable. It's like tank busters and 2 tank busters and 1 Imperial Warrior, maybe making a run for this central garrison, but Pik4a has already claimed it with some peacekeepers, and it looks like a warrior will get in there and clear out 1 of the peacekeepers. We have 1 half-health Apollo fighter, 1 veteran Apollo fighter, just kind of holding these guys over the northern derrick. I don't know, where did that engineer go? Maybe it's in here? I don't know. I really don't know. Looks like the other oil derrick was captured over to Pik4a's side, and we do have some striker VXs out on the field now. 3 Apollo fighters are hovering over the mecha bay. That is the T2 mecha bay, but do we have any cryocopters on the scene? We do. We have a cryocopter coming over, and it looks like anti-air was brought onto the scene. 1 Apollo fighter does go down. Did that cryocopter? Yes, that cryocopter kind of turned around. Yeah, there he goes. He's turned around, right around. I don't know what happened to that engineer. That engineer, I thought it was just here, was going to be making a march straight for this oil derrick. Just seems to have up and vanished. Don't quite see what happened to it or where it could have gone. But anyway, down here on the southern side of the map, NeverLoss has a group of 4 Mecha Tengus and 4 Striker VXs moving on towards this oil derrick. Instead of just recapturing, just saying, you know what, you're going to take my derrick, that's fine, I'll just blow it up. So now you can't have it, and you will no longer get that extra 15 cred every like 2 seconds, I think. I think it's 2 seconds. I think I may have said in prior videos that it was 4 seconds, and that is not right. It's not 4 seconds. I don't know where I got that number. Do believe it's closer to 2. Anyway, we have a shrunken down Riptide coming in. What is he going to hope to accomplish? Oh, no, wait. He has no MCV. Oh, if these things go down, if these power plants go down, if these generators go down, oh, that is low power, instantaneously low power. He has no MCV. He has a mecha bay and 2 refineries and no power. Oh, no. Oh, no, what? What's gonna... Oh, no. He has no power, so he's stuck on the low power build reduction. Apollo fighters do get jumped, sort of, kind of, by those jet tengus. They do force the Apollos back. Very, very nice. Looks like chopper VXs are flying forward, but you're going to want to be careful. Those Apollo fighters are in the sky. Are they going to make a beeline for those choppers? Yes, they are. Oh, got to be careful. Got to be careful. Multi-gunner turret does go down up here on the high ground and does target down the 2 weakened Tengus. That's very nice target fire from Pik4a. And now his airfield will be getting camped. These 4 striker VXs are more than enough to absolutely just shred anything that tries to come out of that airfield. Oh, looks like he does catch another Apollo fighter for the 2 strikers that remained on the ground and were not transformed. And these 2 that are in the air now, they basically have free reign. Oh, no, be careful. Oh, don't get him sniped. Oh, he's going to lose 2 striker VXs just like that. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Now he's a little bit more vulnerable to the remaining Apollo fighter, which I believe, yes, is over here. That 1 remaining Apollo fighter is over here. Oh, what do we have here? We have a heroic chopper VX. Oh, the damage output from that thing. Heroic units just deal out so much damage in Red Alert 3. I would really love to see these 2 choppers go after the resourcing options that are available for Pik4a. Oh, he's going to throw them onto the ground, and that Apollo fighter is instantaneously shredded. Looks like the Riptide ACV carrying those Javelin Troopers is going to be hunted down by those 3 Mecha Tengus, and both Heroic Javelins do get sniped down utterly and completely. What do we have? Just a quick look back over here in the base. Just Mecha Tengu production. 1 tank just sitting idle, but back into the action. We have a cryo shot coming onto the ground. Obviously, I think he was trying to freeze one of these Chopper VXs, or may have been trying to freeze this Heroic one until it transformed up into Chopper mode. But he does wind up freezing his own barracks, and now the MCV is under heavy attack from this Heroic Chopper VX. and low power as well. I don't think he has a single. I don't think Pik4a has a single power plant on the entire map. He doesn't. But the power situation for both of these players is just abysmal right now. And it looks like this Chopper VX is, yes, it is going to be routed after the resourcing options back in the starting location for our allied player. And that means the allied player's Pik4a's funds will dry up very, very quickly. He does get that Kanyar redeployed here in the center, but it is spotted by a very idle Mecha Tengu just kind of sitting there. Could easily be killed. Wants to be very careful about that. Just a little scouting Apollo fighter. What do we have up here? We have a cryocopter. Ooh, okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that one. Is just continuing battle over here as the second prospector goes down, forces the sell-off of this refinery here. And it looks like the Mecha Tengus are going to move over towards the water. Oh, but does that mean the Apollo fighters? The Apollo fighters. The hero is unprotected. The hero is unprotected. Okay, there we go. He got the swap. He got the transform down and just puts the non-heroic one to work in the skies. That way he can maintain that damage output. Looks like the power situation has still yet to be resolved for Pik4a. Cryocopter does come over here and shrink the heroic one. Oh, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Oh, the damage output's too high. Damage is too high. Cryocopter does go down. Kind of a needless loss, if I personally think so. He could have avoided losing that, quite possibly. It looks like Pik4a did recapture this oil derrick at some point earlier in the match. And now it will be focused down by this tsunami tank. Looks like we have 3 Apollo fighters. One's on fire. Oh, that could have been avoided. As 2 Apollo fighters go down, we have a heroic Mecha Tengu on the ground now. And was that another cryo? Yes, it was. That's a cryo blast. Here comes the Vindicator. He's going to get all the bombs off on the refinery. This is not good. This is so not good. NeverLoss has 1 refinery and 1 mecha bay. He's down to 2 buildings. He has 2 buildings. 2 buildings versus, and he's about to get his tsunami tank frozen. Yes, indeed, it is frozen. Chopper VX does get picked off to 2 Apollo fighters. Does hand off the instant elite status. The hero Striker VX does remain, and it looks like both refineries were forced to be sold off, but there is a prospector establishing a command hub back in the starting location for Pik4a, so he will be able to re-expand to that location very readily. It does have a heroic Vindicator on the map now. Pardon me, please. This heroic Vindicator, it will be very, very powerful, considering the fact there are so few things left. Oh, man. Could this be an MCV? Very well. It's building very slowly. I couldn't imagine that being really anything else. Looks like this one little harvester is trying to go out. It's the little harvester that could. Trying to go out and get some scouting information off. Trying to see what's what and what's not. Same thing with these 2 Imperial Warriors down here. Quite possibly. I think the Vindicator only has 1 bomb left. Yes, he does. So he will have to go back and reload. Did we see a Kanyard coming out? That has to be an MCV. It has to be. That has got to be a Kanyard. It's the low power situation would make sense for that thing building so slowly, and we're about to see it. What is it? It is an MCV. Okay, so NeverLoss does have an MCV back out onto the map. So all is not lost for NeverLoss, as long as he redeploys, gets his power situation back on track, gets his refineries back on track. And oh, gotta be careful. That crowd, be careful with those Mecha Tengus. If you lose those Mecha Tengus, then those Apollo fighters will just, oh man, if those Mecha Tengus or that hero striker, if they go down, or if one of those 2 groups of units goes down, that's situation critical. Absolutely dire for NeverLoss, because at that point he will have nothing left to counter the cryocopter, which is currently getting repairs. And if that cryocopter gets free range on this base, it is pretty much GG. But we do have a defender core coming out from NeverLoss, so he will likely throw that down somewhere in, yeah, right there, and will more than likely immediately flip it over to the anti-air variation, and just continue and just offer that much little bit of extra protection from the Allied Air Force. Over in the north, we have 2 Apollo fighters. In the south, we have a Heroic Vindicator. Oh, the Hero Vindicator's by himself, but does NeverLoss know about it? I don't think he knows about it. As long as he doesn't know about it, that Vindicator is basically safe. Looks like it's... Yes, it looks like NeverLoss is cash stalled. Does get a dojo out. Don't know what he could be using a dojo for, but he does get a dojo out. Has some power. Dojo being deployed, and 4 Mecha Tengus. No, 5. I can't count. 5 Mecha Tengus. One of them maintaining that heroic status. We have a Cryo-Geddon coming out to the field. Oh, if he gets his power grid reset again. Oh, come on. Are you paying attention? NeverLoss. 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 Okay, good. There we go. Javelin Trooper does go down. 1 generator remains frozen. Is there any kind of follow-up to snipe that generator? The Heroic Vindicator is on the way, but he might fly right into a wall of Mecha Tengus if he does. Oh, okay. Pik4a has to be very, very careful with his Air Force, as now the Mecha Tengus are in good enough number to take all the Cryocopter. That Cryocopter is gone. Just gets caught out of position and absolutely shredded. The Apollo fighters were not close enough to cover. And it looks like the transform is forced as the point defense drones ran out immediately, but does very nice from NeverLoss, grouping up all of his units and getting more point defense drones online, just giving the Empire's vehicles that much extra health. What we have over here, we have a Heroic Vindicator looking, just kind of prodding the defenses just a little bit. Javelin Trooper does go down to these Mecha Tengus, force firing the ground there just because maybe he doesn't like that little spot on the ground, who knows. But now with these strikers moving up and the Mecha Tengus constantly attacking this refinery, suddenly is that Final Squadron? That's Final Squadron. Okay. You really don't see that very often. But, okay, so Final Squadron does come down, and multi-gunner turret is online in that position. Final Squadron, the refinery is sold off. Does lose 1 Striker VX. What do we have over here? 3 Apollo fighters, plus the Hero Vindicator. Oh, if he transforms, oh, he could... Well, that would mean he'd fly over 2 multi-gunner turrets. So I suppose that wouldn't be the greatest idea in the world. This expansion, now I guess expansion back to the main base, has been discovered by NeverLoss, and Pik4a has Guardian tanks inbound to attempt to deal with the situation. However, there's a lot of stuff here for them to kill. Oh, Hero Vindicator, you're skirting very close. Oh no, oh, he has to lift him. The hero, oh, be careful with that. Oh, be careful. Oh, no. Oh, the Apollos, the Jet Tengus, are they in position? Is the hero going to live? I don't think the hero is going to live. Oh, but how many Apollo fighters will we pay for it? 1 Apollo fighter. Oh, does that Apollo fighter live? No, it goes down. 2 Apollo fighters for 1 Chopper VX, and that's not a good trade. Granted, it was a Hero Chopper VX that was shot down. Looks like the other Chopper VX did just land. It's got taken out by whatever's in this building, Javelin, PK, something like that. Did get taken out, as I think I saw an instant heroic status be passed on to the infantry inside. Prospector does go down, but that Javelin Trooper, oh, you want to get away from that Javelin Trooper ASAP. Want to get away from that. That's just some free damage that's coming down. Hero Vindicator, oh, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. Oh, was that the hero? That was the hero. The hero went down. That's a lot of DPS that was just lost for NeverLoss. That heroic Mecha Tengu or Jet Tengu was very, very amazing. That heroic Apollo fighter's out for blood. He smells blood and he's out for it. He's wanting to see if he can catch a few of these units, but flying does sell off that defender turret. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really doing too very much of anything, so I can very much understand NeverLoss selling that off. So we do have an expansion, or a command hub rather, established in the lower right for our allied player, which means it does slow down. I think I think he just sold this command hub. That's what the change in the map was on. But with this command hub established in the lower right, that sets up our allied player to take the economic initiative away from NeverLoss. Now, what is he? It looks like NeverLoss is cast stalled again. What is he building? He's building a refinery. Okay, so it looks like that economic initiative is being taken by NeverLoss. Going to head out and see about claiming this refinery in the lower left. We have some Guardian tanks and now multi-gunner IFVs. It's good result. Oh, I can't condone that. Fighting over the central garrison. It now has a heroic javelin trooper in it, and the heroic Apollo fighters out on the map. Oh, but be careful. Oh, be careful. Oh, be careful. He could. No, okay. The Apollo fighter is faster than the jet Tengus, so the Apollo fighter can simply just jet it back to base and be okay. Chopper VX is out over the water. NeverLoss is going to want to be very, very careful with those. If they get caught by that, say that heroic Apollo fighter and the jet Tengus are out of position, that will certainly be bad. Looks like Cryogeddon. Oh no. Oh no, Cryogeddon does come down, but the jet Tengus arrive and they vaporize that heroic Vindicator. It looks like, ooh, these Mecha Tengus, they're going to go for the transform. They're going to get, oh, okay, they're going to try and get right on top of those multi-gunner IFVs. However, just severely damages one of them. 3 Guardian tanks backing them up on the ground. What do we have here? We have some combat. Just some Imperial Warriors getting absolutely, they could be clearing that structure, but they did get shot up. But anyway, back over here, we have double dojo going down. Tank busters, Imperial infantry being crushed. Looks like point defense drones going back down on the Empire armor. And it looks like he's calling in final. NeverLoss has got final squadron coming down on this position, but it looks like it will miss. In fact, it's going to wind up splashing his own units. That's not good. That's never good. A little bit of Japanese bonsai friendly fire coming from that final squadron. That is no bueno. But the health on these, some of these tanks, 2 tanks in the red and on fire, definitely going to want to get some repairs down on those. Looks like fourth refinery, rather, excuse me, for Pik4a has been established in the lower right corner of the map. And that lower left corner is established for NeverLoss. That refinery did get thrown down couple minutes ago. Scouting Jet Tengu coming out will likely be, yes, just hugging the bottom of the map. Going to see what he can see. We have another Vindicator taking the scene. Some Tank Busters, Imperial Warriors coming out of that dojo, mixed in with some Striker VXs. Where's the Tengu cloud? There's the Tengu. There's 5 Tengus. One of them is back up to heroic, and 1 veteran Tengu. Looks like how much money's left? Oh, depleted. And this will be very soon depleted. So the economic situation for NeverLoss, it's gonna have to change. He's running out of money. Oh no! All 3. The heroic Apollo fighter gets all 3 chopper VXs. That's not good at all. What's he trying to make happen with these infantry? There are enough Guardian tanks here that could just go for a mass crush move. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tank busters. That's not enough to nuke down. Well, okay, now with the Mecha Tengus in support, that will deter any potential crush move. But this Cryocopter is going to want to chase, or it's going to at least stall the attack coming out of the ally player, or coming out of the Empire player. But the jet Tengus go up into the sky. They do immediately nuke down that Apollo fighter. No, not Apollo fighter, Cryocopter. That jet tango went flying. Looks like Imperial Bonsai Charge is going to clear out the central garrison. It does be driven out. It is driven out. It is overrun. And those were a lot of Javelin Troopers that just went down inside. And now the fresh round of Tank Busters is here. And that will be very, very, very powerful. Oh, right as he transformed those Tengus. Well, of course, granted, the heroic Apollo fighter is up there, but he transformed the Tengus right as a Cryocopter rocked up to the scene. The central garrison does go down, and some Tank Busters are caught out by this Peacekeeper, and I do think their fate is very much sealed. Cryocopter and Vindicator continuing to press the advantage on retreat. Oh, gotta be careful. Vindicator does go down. Again, heroic Apollo fighter attempting to respond. He's gotta be careful. Oh, he's taking anti-air fire. Oh, watch the hero Tengu. Gotta watch out for that heroic jet Tengu. Wants to make sure that that thing does not die, as if it does die, then that will be, once again, a lot of DPS lost. Oh, wow. Tanks, the targets that are affected by that laser pointer take a lot of extra damage. Wow. 1 laser pointer is all it takes. The Empire player is suffering some pretty heavy losses. Cryogeddon. Oh, no. The Empire's entire army, NeverLoss' entire army just got frozen over. Does freeze some of his own tanks here, but that's okay. There's not really anything to give follow-up damage and to destroy the frozen units. Did he sell his Conyard again? He sold his Conyard again. disguising it as a Striker VX. Or a Striker VX, and does get spotted if he's paying it. You know, there's not really any bigger giveaway to a... Oh, it's been spotted. That has so been spotted, and he knows it too. He knows. Oh, it gets frozen down immediately and just gets absolutely wasted by that Vindicator. Oh, now what is NeverLoss going to do? What is he going to do? What can he do? He has 4 Striker VXs and the Allied army is closing in. There's anti-air on the ground. There's anti-air in the sky. I think this may be all she wrote, and it is. That is a GG. NeverLoss has been defeated. Very wow. Very nice play coming out of both players in this game. That was interesting. When I saw that first MCV sell, I really thought the game was going to be over within the next 60 to 90 seconds at that point. Like, say, usually whenever a player sells their Conyard, they're all inning someone. That's the point where it's like make it or break. It's like you go for broke, you got no other options. It's because usually if an all-in fails, usually you are as broke as a joke, and you have no bank to fall back on, no money whatsoever. So then at that point, if the all-in doesn't pay off, you're just kind of like, well, I'm out of money, so that's game. But that was, wow, very, very nice play. Very nice from mates Pik4a for hanging in there and for sticking it out. Made some... he had a couple of micro mistakes, I'd say, but it didn't wind up costing him too terribly much in the end. He was on top. Once he got that heroic Apollo fighter, he was on top of that thing. He babysat that Apollo fighter, wanted to make sure it always stayed alive, which is very good idea. When you get a heroic unit, babysit that heroic unit, because if you saw my cast from yesterday, you will know for sure that a heroic unit is extremely powerful. It's in all ways, shapes, and forms. Heroic units are just extremely powerful, especially if that unit's a commando. Taking a quick look over here at the resource graph, looks like NeverLoss did actually have a lead for a bit here. Then he does catch up a little bit. I think this is where Pik4a started suffering some eco damage, losing those prospectors. But then by the end of the game, Pik4a does wind up surpassing NeverLoss, primarily due to his refineries becoming depleted, and he just didn't really have the money to carry on. 24 minutes and 41 seconds for the game. That should tell you something right there. 0.48 KD ratio for NeverLoss and almost a 2.0 KD ratio for Pik4a. The Empire, just unit after unit after unit, just kind of threw them into the proverbial meat grinder. And right here, proof is in the pudding. Right here, an extra 500 income per minute and an overall increase of around 12,000 increase of total ore collected for mates Pik4a over NeverLoss. So that will definitely play a critical role. Gathering that ore is very much so important. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is Sniper signing out.